Plotting on a number line. I love these problems. So the first one says to plot values between -2 and 3, including -2. So the first thing that I do is I draw little open circles if I'm going between -2 and 3. So I draw these little open circles here and here. And so I know that I want to plot all the values that are between these two. So that means I'm just going to draw a line because that line captures every single value from there to there. Now, the other thing that's really important is that this says including -2. So what that means is this circle needs to be filled in. So we know that this set of numbers, this group of numbers we're showing, also includes -2. It does not include 3. The next one says plot the values between -1 and 2. Okay, so again, I'm going to start. Here we have 2, -1, drawing my open circles, and I'm plotting all the values in between them. So this line captures all of those values. Now, it doesn't say here to also include -1 or 2, so those are going to stay open circles. Okay, this says to plot all even numbers between -5 and 5. So we have -5 and 5. But we only want to plot the even numbers between them. So we don't need to draw circles for -5 and 5. We don't need to draw a line because we don't have to capture everything. We just have to capture the even numbers or the numbers divisible by 2. That means 4, and it includes 4, or -4, right? It includes -4. That's an even number. -2, 2, and 4. All that are divisible by 2. So this would be a situation where you don't need to use a line because you don't have to capture every single thing in between. Okay. So, oops, sorry. 0 also. 0 is actually considered an even number. Okay, so this is what we were just doing, basically, except with greater than or equal to symbols or inequalities. So this says that x is greater than or equal to 0. So this means that we're going to plot all of the values that are greater than or equal to 0. So I know that this thing is going to start at 0, and I'm putting a circle there. Now, is it going to include 0? Yes, it is, because these values can be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. And then, which way should I go? Well, all the values should be greater than 0. So I'm going to go in the direction that's greater than 0. And it includes all of them, even past what I can draw. So how can I show that? Well, just by putting a little arrow. Here's another one. So plot x is less than 3. So all of the x values that are less than 3. So this thing's going to start at 3. And is it including 3? No, it says all the x values that are less than 3, but it doesn't say are equal to 3. So I'm going to draw my line for all those values that are less than 3, which would continue forever and ever, so I'm going to add an arrow.